You've reached your limit. You've reached your storage limit. Upgrade.
Oh, we're live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dr. Kiltz. Good morning, Sandra. Hashtag KFT, everybody.
Good morning. A beautiful day in God's paradise.
Do you have birds? Who has birds?
Beautiful. The children are birds.
The children are birds.
It's all part of the journey, right?
Yes. So we have Sandra here. You're gonna tell us your own carnivore story and why you're doing YouTube and how you're helping your people. Correct?
Yes. So, I'm Sandra Sari, and I was born in Ghana and raised and came to US around the age of 10. I now have 4 kids and married.
Oh, so. Amazing. Oh, they are not birds. It's really children. Okay.
I'm a firm believer in the Word of God, and I serve the Lord. We are here in Guam as missionaries. My husband is the pastor, and we served in the U.S. Army, which was a privilege.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so now we are here in Guam, and we are just happy. It's a new environment, but very close to home as far as the weather and some of the foods here that we see. Well, the fruits, I should say. But yeah, and I have went through a lot of health challenges that kind of started to manifest as I was growing. And, the idea of it is as you age, you're supposed to have some health issues. So that is how I got interested in nutrition and trying to find what's wrong and how, what is happening to my body. But I came to carnivore initially because of my daughter, because she has some issues that doctors didn't know what it was, and we didn't know what to do about it. So that is how I stumbled upon one of Dr. Barry's video. I don't even know what he was talking about, but all I heard was, oh, my wife Nisha had IBS, tried carnivore, and it worked. And that is what the doctors were saying my daughter had. And so I'm like, okay, let me try it first, see how it is before I let her try it. But prior to that, I did low carb and then keto. They helped. I saw improvements in my health, but I think carnivore is when I did carnivore, that's when a lot of things started happening, and almost everything that I was kind of suffering from, by God's grace, kind of went away. So that's how I came to carnivore.
I love that.
Are we suffering, Sandra, around the world, and we're just we don't know why we're all sick and suffering, and the carnivore lifestyle is just such a game changer. It doesn't make sense because we've been taught that meat is bad, beef is bad, pork, lamb. I mean, all meat is bad and plants are good. Is that the lie that we've all been told, which is making us suffer around the globe?
Yeah, and I think we hear it so much. So what I like to do is explain the science behind it, the biology behind it, how our bodies are made, and what our bodies does with the food that we take inside. So when you explain it that way, I think anybody with good sense will kind of see that, hey, this is true. And if anybody was to try it, then they will see that, oh yeah, this really works. So I think trying to explain the science behind it helps more than just telling people, because when you're just telling people that it's just, you're just telling people, oh, this works, Meat is not going to kill you. They tend not to believe that. They tend not to believe that. But then when you explain the science behind how the body functions with what we're eating, then it begins to make sense, to at least to most people.
Maybe you could share with us some of your thoughts and ideas on the science and how the change in this way of living lifestyle has helped you, your family, and you mentioned your child.
Yeah, I'll start from her, and she had a lot of stomach pain, and we didn't know what it was, and I was just we tried that the whole food elimination, nuts, dairy, all the food elimination. We tried that, and nothing was mentioned about just eating meat because we need vegetables. So nothing worked. And so when I did the carnivore, when I heard about the carnivore and eventually did it, then I started to look in the science, like what is happening. Already I was on keto, so I knew our bodies function better with the protein and fat versus the carbs, because all the carbs break down into sugar in your body, and sugar damages your mitochondria, and your body actually prefer fat as your energy source more than the protein. I mean, more than the glucose. So all that made sense to me. And then, the whole insulin, glycation, everything made sense to me. But I was still with the mindset that we need vegetables, fruit and vegetables for vitamins, because I never really studied how much vitamins we get from different meats. And so I think that after I delved more into the carnivore, and I think Dr. Shafi was one person who helped me to understand why plants cause pain or why plants cause damage in our bodies. And so after like hearing that, the toxins around plants, and it just all began to make sense to me, because broccoli was bloating me up. Even lettuce, like salads, was bloating me up, and I didn't even know it. But once I took it all away, I felt fine. So I started to understand that science behind why plants can cause damage in our bodies. And then so I just, and then it just related to everything to me, because once you go carnivore, you begin to have mental clarity. You sleep better. I mean, at the beginning, maybe some people will not sleep good. Everybody is different, but your sleep becomes better. You are building muscle. Like, it's just everything just began to make sense. So when people say, "Oh, carnivore or changing their ways of eating to carnivore has helped them with their mental illness," it makes sense to me. So it's just everything just began to click. Everything that people go through, anxiety, your mood change, and now mental illness is on the rise too. So that makes sense to me. Pain, I struggle with a lot of menstrual pain, like really bad, since I was 11. So that went away, and so like everything about the body began to make sense to me about diet and how it affects our body. So that's what I would say to that.
What poisons come from ribeye steak or any part of the animal of beef, lamb, goat, even pig? I believe is one of the healthiest things that we can eat. But we've been brainwashed around the globe to believe that it's all deadly for us, and we are getting sicker around the globe. And we talked a little bit about Africa, the continent, and the peoples there who have suffered immensely for thousands of years, and the colonialization of the peoples of the world, to force them to grow crops, grind the grains, and
Yeah.
consume the plants and stay away from the meat. Maybe is the single greatest problem we've created to a human being. in feeding them plants, which ultimately are poisonous, and meat is masterful. And it's simple concept and idea. I had bowel bleeding, arthritis, psoriasis since I was a child, young child. I had ADHD, OCD, depression. I had bowel problems. I had migraines. That you'd go to the doctor and they just give you a pill, and I think that we're all taught an idea that is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about sharing this message in this world with our brothers and sisters and our children's children?
Yeah. So I do have a small YouTube channel that I'm trying to get to, whoever I know. But then I meet people and I talk to them about it. And I've talked to a few people that even just doing low carb, not even doing carnivore, just stop reducing the starch made a difference for them. So just when people are going through stuff, people will call me like, oh, I'm struggling with this mood. And I just tell them, hey, try this. And don't believe me for it. Look it up. There are so many doctors on YouTube now that are sharing this information. Do your research, because that's what I did. I mean, you can find a lot of things on Google Scholar, and there's um, so many research that have been done. If people want to get to the nitty gritty, or find some resources before they start. There's been a lot of keto research articles. Find them, read them, and do your research, and then you see that you know this it makes sense. Like things start to make sense, like once you start it and once you know it. So I think that's what I will say. Like that's what I do, just sharing. If anybody's going through problems, there are a lot of people my age, they're taking medications, and I say, hey, try this. But the problem that I find talking to people is that their doctors are just conventional doctors. So they become scared, or even if they start it, or even if they want to start it, the moment they tell their doctors, it's like, hey, it's dangerous, don't do it. So that's what makes it hard. That people are just afraid because they don't have their doctors, and of course they believe their doctors before they believe me. So um, that's the challenge that I get when sharing with people about it. So that's why I'm glad to have an expert today. um, to
Blessed to
share.
have you here. I'm in Southern California, Irvine, visiting with my brother Ray, whose birthday is today. I think
Oh,
he's
happy birthday! Oh yeah.
78 or 9 now, young guy. And
Wow.
between both my brothers lost vision in one eye. My sister died of diabetes at 52, had it since age 4. She lost an eye and then became blind and had many organ distress disorders and disease. My mother had macular degeneration, also went blind. And I've seen the suffering that we're all having. And I personally found carnivore 15 years ago ish. I've been keto, paleo, Atkins for 25 years. And as a doctor, I learned what I am taught is incorrect, and plant-based, low animal fat diet may be the single leading cause of all of our problems. Yet we're looking for medical science to share the story,
Yeah.
but in fact, the Bible is like the very best guide for life around the globe for many people. And ultimately, we live by our stories, not by our science. And I'm just wondering if our science, and everyone's waiting for the scientific article that's going to solve all problems, when in fact, you can be solved by a biblical story for each and every one of us that we're teaching online through true human being stories, which have blown up this world in so many ways and made the change that we need to see. But it's each of us has to be willing to share your story.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, that is one of the main thing because you don't know who you resonate with. You never know who can relate to your story. So I'm happy to see so many carnivores sharing their story or ketovores, sharing their story because one way or the other, if it doesn't relate to me, it can relate to someone else. So that's one of the things that we can do.
Yeah, and truly, physiologically, biologically, we're not different. We're
Mhm.
99.9% the same. And an animal based, which means you primarily eat animals, plant based, you primarily eat plants, and then there's the omnivore who eats everything.
Yeah.
And we've made up so many stories that maybe are distracting for all of us. But if we could simply keep it simple, and I often say I'm not a very smart guy, but I'm very, very, very experienced in pain and suffering. And through pain and suffering, I've learned some game changers that have helped me on the journey of my life. And I'm giving a talk tomorrow at low carb San Diego. What is it? A metabolic symposium, Alia. And
Symposium for Metabolic Health.
yeah, and if you don't have a ticket, you could go online and get one. I'm sure Ali has got a link on our websites
Yep.
that you
Yes.
can get there. But I'm sure there's going to be ways to go online. But I'm talking about reproductive disorders, primarily in women, but they're in men also. And I believe you're going to get the simple answer right here is that the gut inflammation, the plant protein low animal fat diet enables the microbes to proliferate and flourish, and they infect the bowels and go systemically. But for women, they go out the rectum anus and right into the vagina, which cause vaginal, cervical, uterine, tubal, ovarian, pelvic disorders, all the way from mild pain, and we don't know why, to cancers, fibroids, endometriosis, endometritis, and one of the leading cause problems is reproductive dysfunction, infertility, miscarriage, even depression, anxiety are on the rise around the globe. And I've got a good friend whose brother committed suicide, like my grandfathers both committed suicide years ago, that I believe the problem isn't another doctor, drug, or dissection, but it's the proper human diet, as one of our leaders, Ken Berry, has coined, that we are truly hunters. We are ancient hunters of big animals, but we've been led to believe that eating fruit, fiber, vegetables is the healthiest thing for us. But in fact, it's the deadliest thing for us. And really, that's a simple story. Is that what you're finding, Sandra, around the globe, that you're connecting with people everywhere?
Yeah, and that's what one thing I wanted to ask you because now I find, I've kind of seen some, but also um, talked to some people. A lot of younger people are having PCOS, and I wanted to know, since you are the fertility specialist, like in your practicing, are you seeing the same in your practice? And what is the major cost? Is it just the food? Is it something else? So what is the major cause of this PCOS going on, and eventually that leads to infertility?
Well, the mindset is the number one problem. We live with tremendous fear, and we're waiting for someone to come save us. But what we need is within each and every one of us. And you have to practice mindfulness, positivity, love, and graciousness and gratitude, because that is the leading secret. My good friend Ben Azadi, vitamin G, which is gratitude, And I read books like Lead Like Jesus by Ken Blanchard or The Christ-Based Teachings by Don Curtis. I'm also reading a book called the 23rd Psalm by Don Curtis. And you can get my family building guide and my keto carnivore guide on Amazon online also. We're listening to the news of the problems of the world, and our brain believes that they're happening to us from everywhere. And we need to turn off the yik yak, and we have to visualize the beauty of the universe God has given us first. And second, a plant-based diet is a deadly human diet, and a low animal fat diet is a deadly human diet because fat is the most important thing on our body and in our body, meaning that when you eat fat, you reduce inflammation, which suppresses the microbes in the gut. The microbes are proliferating again, and they go everywhere in our body, and they're there from the day you're born to the day you die, and they're there. That doesn't mean they're good for us. But I would say that of all the things I've ever learned as a doctor, don't listen to your doctor. Listen to the doctor, the number one doctor of the globe, which to me is God within all of us. And Abraham, Jesus, Moses, Mohammed, David, Lao Tse, Buddha, Marcus Aurelius. Find the sages of the world that will help you and guide you. But social media today, and again, I have Matthew and Terry and Dana and Aaron and Sherelle and Steve and so many people that are infinitely just stopping in for a little bit here, and what you're doing around the globe, and Alia and Dr. Nelson and again, we're all on the globe together, and we're all working to make ourselves the very best fertilizer.
Yeah.
Stand still and know that I am God is within each and every one of us. And be afraid and do it anyway. That's the message that I'm here to share. And going to San Diego, and I'm going to Washington, D.C. in 2 weeks to speak, hopefully with the powers to listen on first, how we can heal our brothers and sisters around the globe, and how we can teach each other to fish. When we learn to fish together, we realize that a high plant, low fat diet may be our deadliest diet. And we don't eat protein, by the way. We eat animals or plants. And all animals and all plants contain amino acids, simple sugars, fatty acids, minerals, vitamins, and plants contain many other deadly substances, right? Keep spreading the carnivore diet as the optimal diet. And I think this is the carnivore lifestyle. That's what this is really all about. We're sharing a carnivore lifestyle, a lifestyle of healing our brothers and sisters everywhere. Papa and Jay Budd and Tina Francis and let's see, Akash. It is Carnivore Muscle, our brother, and GM Sandy, Target Primary. I mean, we can go down the list, and we are creating a documentary. This is a documentary to document the stories of healing humanity. My good friend Carrie Mann and Adam Lacey, and people like Stephen Thomas, and our other good friends that created the movie Animal, the documentary. We're not here to sell you anything. You don't have to buy one bit of anything from any of us. Stuff isn't like the issue, right? It's we're simply poisoned by a plant protein, low animal fat diet. I see so many people cut away the fat. They cook away the fat.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Sarah?
Yeah, that is true. I remember, growing up when the doctor says, "Oh, fat is bad." So when we're making chicken, my mom is like, "Take off the skin," But I always loved the skin. But now what I see, maybe you can help answer this. With when it comes to fat, you eat the fat, your cholesterol go high, And people become afraid of that because when you go to your doctor and your cholesterol is high, it's an issue. It's a problem. So why does cholesterol increase? First of all, when you start to eat the fat, and is this something we should be worried about? Is this something that should scare us? So maybe
Well,
you can
well,
help answer that.
well. Number one, fat is the most important tissue in your body. If you have little to no fat on your body, you will not reproduce, and you're at risk of dying from disease, pestilence, famine, war, around the globe, or locally. And ultimately, fat contains every mineral, vitamin, building block of your body, and meaning every amino acid, simple sugar, and fatty acid. And so fat is never the cause of disease. This is some of the food that I eat. This is a fatty meat. I eat it rare to raw. I cut it up, salt it. I often add a little butter, sometimes some blue cheese. I might eat an egg or two or not, but the fattiest, rawest, rarest meat contains all the healing. And the microbes do not like fat. And fat is actually also anti inflammatory when you eat the fat. And so a paleo keto carnivore diet is actually a high fat diet. Let's just leave it as high fat. And everyone knows what fat looks like, right? It's the white stuff, or it's the stuff that we go here and there, right? But ultimately, do we live in a stressful environment in this world?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So if the world is so stressful, what does the brain want to do when it sees and recognizes stress in the world? It wants to protect you. So what are the odds through war, famine, disease that you're going to have a lack of food in your life? Very high. So wouldn't the brain say get fat so you can survive war, pestilence, disease, famine, and migration, hibernation, and more? And so what if the science of obesity and fat is incorrect, right? We blame fat as the cause of disease, but in fact, it's a lack of fat is the cause of disease. Now, would you eat this raw?
Not raw. Right now the stage where I am is medium, medium rare.
But in fact, what other animal cooks their food?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
And if you look at Pottinger's cats, Pottinger study on cats that ate cooked meat or raw meat, and found that the cooked meat was harmful for the cats, and the raw meat was masterful for the cats. And ultimately, that this is the most important thing to eat: rare to raw, fatty meat, and eat one time a day or less, because the food in your belly is not the energy for your body until it's converted to fat in the liver, which then makes a glycolipoprotein, which is then delivered systemically in the body to be the fuel and building block and the molecules of your life, which is kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
This is not the science we're taught, is it?
No, definitely not.
And I eat butter. Like cheese.
Mm-hmm.
The best to me is salted butter, and the best to me is actually raw butter and raw cream. But that's a whole nother story, because Pottinger also showed that when you cook, when you pasteurize the milk, you damage it. That's really it.
Yeah.
And in some way, food has become our entertainment. rather than recognizing food is our fuel for the mission of our life to go out there and heal and help our brothers and sisters around the globe
Yeah, yeah, that's
and share the
definitely.
message. And I guess I'm asking to all my brothers and sisters that are listening here, what is your why of life? Where are you at in this world? Share this with the brothers and sisters around the globe because we have the power to help give power to every human being alive through the devices of social media, which is medicine, right? And that's why I read Psalms, Christ-based teachings, and lead like Jesus. But I've read every Bible of the world and believe and humans believe in God and
Mhm.
believe in God, and I think we're hoping someone's going to save us, but God is within each and every one of us, here to save all of us. But nothing has to change except what you think of life.
Yeah.
And maybe you could talk a little bit about the power of faith in your life and how you think it fits with this carnivore world. I say carnivore because carnivore we know is a lion. A keto is kind of a scientific term that I'm not even sure I know what it is.
Mhm. Yeah, I think faith to me is important. It's what keeps me going. And, the Bible says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. So, knowledge, is important that we find. And so, just relating it to it, just finding out the truth about how the body really works or how food really affects the body. That's knowledge right there. And it's the way God created the body, and that's the knowledge of how things process in the body. So I see, I mean, my faith to me helps me to even understand things more. So once you have this knowledge, it's good to share with people that are suffering, like you said. We have to share. That's like how we share the word of God. You share what you have gained, the knowledge that you have gained. If it's helping you, you never know, it may help your next door neighbor. So why don't we share? So that
And
that
it
is
doesn't
what we are called to do.
and it doesn't matter your religious belief or not. It's we are brothers and sisters and we see God in each other. And when we recognize the power of God within us and this we're here for service. How may I serve you?
Mhm.
And the more we recognize that we're here for service to our brothers and sisters, the magic of the world unfolds.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, every job that you do, it's a work of service to to others. I'm a respiratory therapist by profession, and when you graduate in the medical field, you take an oath to help to save lives. So, and that is an act of service to humanity. So everything that I think all the carnivore keto doctors are doing just to share this knowledge out there, because the truth is a lot of people will not get it from their doctors, and they're in pain. I mean, I know people on about 4 medications and even more medications for the side effect that comes from the medication that they're taking already. So if there's a natural way for you to live without all this medication, why not share that? You know, um, why not share that with others? But my my question with like the cholesterol, is it
Oh,
something we
oh,
should worry about?
sorry about
Or
that.
yeah,
No,
because that is one thing that people get scared, and
okay.
then it's like I'm not.
Science is wrong.
Mm,
HDL, LDL, VLDL, triglycerides, cholesterol does stop measuring it, in my opinion. Inflammation from a low fat, plant based, protein based diet, lean meat diet has caused disease. Cholesterol is the building block for for every cell of your body, for your brain, for your reproductive hormones, for all your hormones. Cholesterol, vitamin D are critical for your adrenal hormones, your ovarian and testicular hormones. They're all critical, and it literally is the single leading cause of disease is a low animal fat diet. I'm sorry, fat from an avocado is a poisonous source, in my opinion. Oils from avocados or from even olive oil, they're all seed and nut oils, which I believe are industrial oils, which are not natural to our human evolution. We didn't wait for someone to bottle up oils in order to provide fat. It came from the fatty animal. And cholesterol is literally critical to eat, but we're eating plants which are poisonous. Name an organism, whether it's a bacteria, yeast, virus, it's a plant, it's an insect, or any other organism in the universe that wants to be eaten by you. None. Plants have been around, evolutionarily speaking, for millions of years more, and they contain more DNA, and their glycobiome, their sugar layer, is inflammatory to us. So, how many people do you know eat rare to raw butter and beef as their primary source of food? Nobody, right? Okay, so we're all eating a cooked meat. What happens to the fat when you cook this?
It melts.
It melts away. And then now do you collect all that fat and drink it?
No, probably.
Most people do not. And rendered fat is not the same as raw fat, in my opinion. And we're basically eating a deadly diet, and that's our problem. And we're simply here to say you're a lion. You have been trained to become a sheep. And I think ultimately we must be done with it, because the kingdom of God is within all of us. God's not out there. God is in here, in my opinion. Again, you could argue all you want. I'm just giving you my opinion and my view of life. I suffered in order to strengthen. And fat, if you're not fat in a famine, you're fertilizer fast. And evolutionarily speaking, how, like 50,000 years ago, you just pulled up your phone and you dialed the local market and they delivered to you? Right? You know, this is the craziness. How many people here have been watching the news on the Wall Street Journal or with Dr. Barry and Nisha sharing their journey with their little one, feeding their baby a baby's diet, bacon, eggs, butter, beef, Kiltz's ice cream, salt. And basically, we are carnivores. We should go from suckling our mother's breast for milk and sustenance and connection. And from there, we should go to meat.
Yep.
The master meal.
Dr.
Right?
Fields, we've got some questions.
Let's get some questions, Alia. Great. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate it. Dr. Nelson is traveling to California, and I'm going to see him today. I'm traveling from Irvine to San Diego today to go to the low-carb symposium, and I'm hoping to see you there. And if you're there, come by and just a high five, a hug, and don't forget, we got to get selfies together.
And post it. Selfies and post them.
And post them.
Anthony S. would like to know, how do you know when your gut is finally healed on carnivore? He wanted to know if there was like a test you could take.
Look, there's no test that a doctor or science can give you to tell you whether you're going to live another week, a month, a year, or 50 years. It doesn't exist. And so how do you feel? That's how I measure everything. And I always feel fantastic because it always starts with every thought you think. And that really is the most important thing to me. You could look at ESR, CRP, fasting insulin, hemoglobin A1C, I think I mentioned, all these things. But Remember, fasting means an empty gut, which requires at least 3 days. But you tell me how you're feeling. That's what I say. Every day I feel fantastic.
Steve Stone is asking what everyone's thoughts are on Dr. Barry interview on NBC Nightly News last night. We got to find it.
Let's post it.
Yeah, let's find it and
All
share
right,
it.
let's post it and share it and spread the word. Spread the word. It's critical to spread this word because remember, you can't fight against. You only share for. And we're here to share with our brothers and sisters. And carnivore is the game changer. We're all keto-ish, okay, but are you a lion or a sheep?
Yeah, it's so amazing how there are so many people coming out with their carnivore videos that they try it and it works. It's not like any magical thing. It's just the way the body works, and people are getting healing from it by God's grace. People are reversing diseases. So it's not like a magic a cult or anything. This is just what your body needs and what is good for your body. So
plants are poisonous, period. Plants are poisonous, period. And no animal seeks protein. They look for what their instinctual, ancestral, proper human diet is, which if you're a cow, a sheep, or a pig, it's going to be something that nature provides without a human being having any effect on it. But it's either a plant or an animal or a bug. That's primarily it, right? And what animal waits for someone to feed them? The problem is we're waiting for someone else to feed us. And ultimately, plants want to survive just like you and I do, right?
Right.
They're sentient beings that understand and create the universe like you and I do, right? And eat fatty, rare to raw meat is the healthiest thing to eat. You must focus on fat to be truly fit. But rendered fat is like pasteurized or cooked meat. You damage the molecular structure, and that's probably the biggest problem.
Yes. Oh, Christy. Sandra, I'm West African like you, lib girl. Have you been able to influence your family to try carnivore? I'm so hurt by their lack of support for me, but also tradition doesn't equal healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. So my family have been amazing. My kids, I would say right now they are 80% meat based. They do eat some fruits, but my daughter do mostly dairy, fruits once in a while, but she mostly does meat with the fat and dairy. And my whole family, I'll say they are more keto-ish. Yeah, they are more keto. They add my son likes cucumber, and so if he's eating his burger patty with cucumber, that's good enough for me, at least for now. So there, I'll say 80 to maybe 85% meat based, and the rest is between cheese and some fruits. But,
So go back to that. Put that back up, Alia.
Okay. Yes. Here you go.
Okay, so why would we say I'm hurt by their lack of support? Why wouldn't we say I'm inspired by God's work to share this every single day to help my brothers and sisters? Because nobody can hurt you but you through your thoughts of what is. But who creates everything? God. And God is full of love. And so he's giving you this in order to inspire you to keep at it. And why would we feed our children something that could be harmful like a plant? That is our nature, right? We just kind of fit in with what most people do in life, right? And what is the harmful part of a little bit of plant? I don't know. But maybe, that's one of the things I question. Why do some people get cancer and other people don't? I don't know. But ultimately, we're really working to share with our children's children that eating fatty meat and butter and some eggs, right, is the healthiest thing you can eat. What more do you need besides these things? Do you truly need anything else?
No.
Yeah, I think I can understand what she's saying because I struggle with that too. Not with my immediate family, but just because of tradition, the African culture, there's the way that you eat. There's some foods, that is like the delicacies that we have. So with her not getting support is very understandable because if you're not eating the way that everybody else is eating, is you're the odd one out. So I can see where she is coming from because I've also struggled with that aspect. But that is why it's important that we learn, because whatever you learn, you're passing it down to the next generation. You're passing it down to your children. So you learn about the proper way of eating. It may not be perfect, but at least the knowledge, just ingraining the knowledge to your children, and it gets passed down. And I think they feel good too. Like it's a different feeling for them. Like my kids,
Jesus,
it was
was the
amazing.
word of Jesus accepted at the beginning?
It wasn't. I
Did it
mean,
stop him?
I came to my own, and my own did not accept me.
Is there a word in any of these books that says they wouldn't listen to me and I feel hurt?
That's,
Did Jesus ever speak those words?
mm, yeah,
He doesn't, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so I always say, remember, stay on the path and on the way. And pain and suffering is our journey. If
yeah.
you don't get pain and suffering and pushback, that means you don't have something special to share.
Mm.
But we do have something special to share. So even the pain and suffering is do it anyway.
Mhm.
Do it anyway. And take it as like, oh, I must have something really important to share. Change is hard. Couple more questions. We got about 10, 15 minutes left.
Yeah, exactly. So Stephanie, my 40-year-old daughter is having GI issues, but won't listen to my recommendations to try carnivore. She just goes from doctor to doctor. I'm assuming I'm advising her correctly. Yes. Yes, you are.
Sandra, agree?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look at all of us, all human beings have a headache, mind problems, depression, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, whatever it is, autistic syndrome. We have bowel problems from mild gastritis, esophagitis to full blown cancers, and they're on the rise. Skin problems, joint problems, liver problems, and ultimately eye problems. All of these problems begin because we're eating an improper human diet. We're running away from this,
Right.
and we're grabbing a bowl and filling it with a plant cereal or a vegetable that someone says, oh, a little bit of this is okay. Maybe not. We're lions. Oh, this lion, you can eat a little bit.
This is for Dr. Kiltz. Adriana Garzon, Adriana would like to know what your what brand of butter. Les Tres Sales. It sounds French.
Is for with coarse sea salt, Camaroos. This is yeah, it's got to say France on here somewhere, but product. Oh, Belgium,
Oh,
Nice.
Belgium.
yeah.
This is really, 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 really good. Yeah.
And what's the other one? Wegmans? The other
Wegmans
one?
Butter Boy, but this
Butter
is
Boy.
again, this is
That
this
looks
is one of
really
my
good.
favorites.
Oh, nice.
Where do you
That
get
one
it
looks good.
from?
This came from Gelson's here in Gelson's Market here Irvine, and this came from Gelson's. And this is like, oh, amazing. We had a birthday celebration for Brother Ray. It was his birthday today. He's 21, I think.
Happy birthday, Brother Ray.
Yeah, everyone birthdays here in August. Happy birthday every day. And remember, we're getting younger and younger and younger. And carnivore lifestyle is like the game changer. My good friend Ken Berry, Anthony Chafee, Sean Baker, Bella Ma, Courtney Luna, Lisa Wiedemann. I mean, the list of Target Prime Rib, Larry Ryan. I mean, everyone here, I appreciate you so much. This is crazy concept and ideas. Radical. Yeah, Judy goes to Wegmans for all my New York State products. Yep. Oh, yeah. It's great. Couple more questions and then we'll be.
Okay, this one's from Cookie Carter. Hi, everyone. Sandra, how is your daughter doing? What is a meal day like for you and your children?
Oh, she's feeling good. She's feeling much better. Just trying carnivore. The first week that we decided to let her try it, there was no pain. I mean, she has so much pain that when in the morning when we'll be going to school, she's like crouching down, because of her stomach. But now she's doing really good. The day in the in our with our meals, for her, it's mostly eggs or sausage. She can make like chocolate drink. I buy the cacao and then she adds milk, and maybe sometimes a tiny bit of honey. But that's pretty much it for her in the morning. Pretty much eggs and sausage, and and then they don't really eat. They don't really eat till maybe close to 11:30, 12:30. So we're not kind of doing breakfast for them. I mean, they're not. We allow them to eat anytime, and then she'll have a snack like cheese if she wants to in between, and maybe lunch and then dinner. And dinner, she likes steak, so we do steak. Like today, we had some ribs, some pork ribs. So it's between steak, chicken, and pork most days. But we're eating mostly steaks, but just to change it up a little for them. And then she's making her own dessert, the Kilt's ice cream. She doesn't add the egg yolk. Yeah, and she makes it pretty good. She doesn't add the egg yolk, so that's where we're gonna try that next week. But she does the heavy cream with a little bit of honey, and maybe sometimes she'll add vanilla. Sometimes she'll add cacao powder just to make a chocolate flavor, or a little bit of strawberries to make a strawberry flavor. But that's pretty much like her dessert. So she likes the steak. My son, on the other hand, just like the burger patties. So they do the burger patties. He does his burger patty with cucumber, and pretty much my daughter, she just the steak. And then we do eggs too, quite a bit, like soft boiled eggs, and so that's it. And then she makes her little dessert, and that's it.
I'd rather pickles than cucumber.
Okay.
They're better.
I got it. Okay. I'll try to see if you
pickle over cucumbers. Again, it's a processed plant which is less toxic but not non-toxic. Okay. Again, but butter. Make some duck grease or butter mayonnaise. Really great.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, cool. I'll try that. And
the Butter Boy butter is like my favorite. Wegmans does a great, amazing job, and they have great meat. There's great meat wherever you go. Go meet the butcher, talk to the butcher, and the most important thing is you want the fat, and you want to eat the rare to raw fatty meat. Throw some salt, a little bit of butter, enjoy. I eat one meal a day. Typically, I do a 2 to 3 day fast monthly, 5 to 7 days coming up again in October. We just finished a 15-day fast with Kilts. Dr. Nelson did 22 days of no food. We eat too frequently. and we don't eat enough of rare to raw fatty meat, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that once a day to be pretty efficient. I mostly eat once or twice a day, if anything. If I eat in the afternoon, it's probably just some eggs, maybe with some cheese sometimes. But mostly, I sometimes I'll make like a bulletproof carnivore tea, like without the the tea. Um, but I'll just do that. That keeps me to dinner, and pretty much it's just a steak and butter. So I love that. It's simple. It's easy. You don't have to struggle. And I'm a busy mom, so anything that will make life easy for me, I'll take it.
Love that. Let's see. Do we got time for one more? Let's do one more.
Yeah, let's do another one. We got a couple more. Well, a celebration of birthdays around the globe. It's Brother Ray's birthday.
Brother Ray, come on the screen.
Brother Ray's birthday here. Oh, Ray. Oh, Ray. I'm blessed to have a beautiful Brother Ray. Brother Tom.
Hi, Brother Ray. Happy birthday.
But we are brothers and sisters around the globe, are we not?
Yes.
Yes.
Every day, Sandra. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you for your work.
Here, this will be the last question because you've spoken to Dr. O'Mara, Dr. Kiltz. What is your take on Dr. O'Mara saying we need to eat some fermented vegetables in our diet?
Well, we don't need to, but again, in my opinion, fresh air, sunlight, nature's water, and fatty meat is all you need to eat. And I throw in some organ meats, if not some Kiltz organ meat supplements. But are they required? Don't know. And I would say that if you're going to eat a plant, fermented, soaked, or cooked is far better than raw, in my opinion.
Sunshine.
Out nature. Get out there. Yeah. Sunshine. Raises sunshine.
Yeah, truly.
And a hug from Brother Ray. And a
What's
hug
that?
and a hug from Brother Ray.
Oh, awesome. And that's
Thanks. Yeah.
we need we are social animals.
Yeah.
We are like the sheep and the cows in many ways, right? But maybe we're more like wolves and lions, pack animals. Make yourself some butter mayonnaise. It's really awesome. Happy birthday to everyone out there. Quite amazing, right, Brother Ray?
Robert, absolutely. Yep.
I know this, and again, it's the simplicity of the story. Fat on your body is never the cause of disease. It's the fuel and building block. If you don't make fat, you're dead. And so many people don't make fat because their liver is damaged. Hit the button, Alia. Just
hitting the button.
Yep. And so many people are cutting away the fat. A plant-based low animal fat diet is the cause of most disease.
And you know what, Robert? May I just say
one thing? No.
Congrats.
Well, you know what?
Carnivore, Mike Selly.
People didn't get up in the morning and pick a low animal fat diet. It was marketed to them heavily. And they thought that they were doing it because they were doing the right thing. But it was marketed. So it wasn't the natural way.
We're marketed to misery, and we have to turn away from the marketing and do the research and do it, because I only know about this because I saw it and I suffered and I did it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I feel amazing. And this is a deadly diet.
Basically.
Well, and all my bleeding, my brain fog, depression, anxiety, arthritis, psoriasis, migraines, doctors, drugs, and dissections are done. Crazy, right?
Amazing.
Crazy. Sandra, tell us a little bit about how people can find you and how we can all share the word in the way every day.
Yes, I'm on YouTube as Sandra Asari, also on Facebook as that Sandra Asari, and TikTok, Instagram, but not so much on Instagram. Just Facebook and TikTok under my name. So.
And I think we have a butter mayonnaise recipe out there. Someone's asking about it, but it really is simple. It's just follow the recipe. but don't use olive oil. Use melted butter and just pour it in slowly as you blend it. Perfect. A little bit of,
So yummy.
oh man. Again, plants are poisonous and meat is masterful. Fatty, rare to raw. That's what you want to eat. Throw in some butter. Oh my God. Amazing.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kilt, for having me.
God
I really
bless everyone.
bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah. You're amazing. I appreciate you so much. God bless everyone. Have an awesome day. Thank you.
Goodbye,
Happy birthday.
everybody.
All those having a
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Brother Ray.
Nice to see you, Alia. Nice to
Nice
meet you,
to see you.
Sandra. Have a
Nice to-
spectacular day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, bye, everybody.